So, James, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good. Good, thank you. So, James, this Friday, October 8th, you're releasing your single Casualty. So, can you tell me a bit about the songwriting and the production behind this single?
Yeah. So in terms of the song meaning, I would say you can take it in a few different directions. So the lyrics specifically are kind of like either industry related or just in general. There's a lot of fake people out there, and there's a lot of um, people that'll just use and abuse you until they get what they want. And then once they're done with you, they're just going to toss you to the side. And it's kind of about recognizing that and kind of overcoming that and just, the frustrations there. So that's what the song is lyrically about. So it's kind of an aggressive song. We at the band GraveBound often write, I wouldn't say it's more of a formula, but we have our kind of our style, and we wanted to try something different. And so this song is a bit on the different side from what we typically do. We usually have like a lot of cleans and screams, but this one is just all screams, and it's fairly short. And we didn't do a whole lot of production for it because we wanted it to be kind of raw and that just aggressive song. So that's how we did it. We wrote it last year, actually, at the end of the year. And we just finally got around to getting the video done for it and putting it out. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And you guys put up an amazing video for that one as well, which is yet to be released. So, would you like to share a bit about the making of the video?
Yeah. So we often work with one of our producers known as Alex Hyder. He's great at doing a lot of our videos. He's done, I think, all but one of them. And so we got with him, and we ended up going to Virginia Beach to shoot this video. It's just in a warehouse. The idea was to kind of make things look stressful, and we really like the album art is orange, so we have an orange tint to the kind of whole thing. But yeah, we just met up in Virginia Beach and got together and had a good time. Our bassist lives in Tennessee, so he had to fly down for that. But we all live relatively also, my drummer and my vocalist and myself live close. So we just drove down together. But yeah, we shot it in about probably 6-7 hours. I will say, because the song is so aggressive, we wanted to physically show that in the video, and just, man, I'll tell you, we were so exhausted just like a couple hours in. You could actually see in one of the shots my drummer just going like this, and like with this right hand, and just like literally looks like he's falling apart because he's so tired. And so that was probably one of the best experiences we've had when shooting the video, but one of the most exhausting ones we've had as well.
Amazing, amazing. And talking about this particular single, this great songwriting behind it, amazing musicianship behind it, and you come up with a totally perfect song. So how, as a band, do you feel about the outcome?
I think it's a great song. It's definitely one of those oddball ones. If for our fans that follow us, it's going to be a kind of a curveball and be like, whoa, I've never heard this side of GraveBound before. But I think it speaks to what we've been trying to do. We want to mix it up and don't want to just put out 5 of the same songs. We want to experiment, whether it's vocally, instrumentally, or something, just to mix things up, not only for the fans, but for ourselves as well. And we're still trying to find out what our true sound is and where we sound the best. And so experimenting with something like this is where we're going to find that out.
Amazing, amazing. And you guys have any plans to get back in studio to make a full-length album anytime this year or next year?
Well, right now we're looking to just kind of do the single route, just because we're an independent band, and it takes a lot to pull together an album. We all have, I'm making excuses for us, right? But we all have full-time jobs, and it's pretty difficult to sit down and write out a full length. But we haven't been so great at releasing singles consistently. We want to get better at that. But we do already have about 5 songs. About 5 unreleased songs that we're working on, moving to the final stages. So about an EP worth of music that we're trying to dump between now and first quarter, second quarter of next year. So we're gonna keep the content flowing, but we don't have any plans right now for a full length album just yet.
Sounds good. And since you said you guys are independent, so you guys will be sticking to being independent, or you are planning to get into deal with some recording label in the future?
We are open for that. We actually took some time this past year and kind of felt out that label aspect. You know, a lot of us actually, all of us in the band have never been signed to a label. So luckily we have great management that kind of guides us through what that means and what that would, what the expectations would be with that. So we took a second to feel that out, and we actually did submit some of our content to a few well-known labels, but that's not always going to be unfortunately successful, and we were not. So we're open if someone wants to pick us up and talk about what we could do together. We're definitely going to keep submitting as we grow. I think it's one of those things that we might not be ready yet in their eyes, or maybe we are, but we just haven't approached the right label just yet. We're going to keep it up with the content and just keep submitting as we go. So we're definitely interested, but just haven't had any opportunities yet.
Gotcha. And 2019's Phobia was quite a good success for you guys. So how did you feel about the success of that particular thing? And did it pave way to make more amazing music, gave some inspiration to you guys?
Yeah, so that was really shocking to see. We had never done anything like that before. That was our first EP together. Well, wait, that was our first EP together. And to see the reaction that we got, whether it's from the Billboard charting or just the people that come up to saying like, oh, I really love that song. That was amazing. That's something that I haven't really had before. So we thought it went really well. But obviously we were like, well, we can do better for sure. But yeah, I think we really enjoyed it. I think one of the things that we took away from that, it was just really exhausting, because during that period when we released Phobia, we also rebranded from another name to GraveBound. So on top of, changing like album, on top of building the EP, we had to like come up with a name, come up with branding, and it was really exhausting. And so we got burnt out pretty quick because there was a lot of work that had to go into all of that actually happening. So, but we were so happy with the success, and we just want more of it, of course.
Sounds great. And how is the touring plans like for you guys?
Right now, we just got off of a 3-day run in Virginia. So we did Richmond, Charlottesville, and Fredericksburg. That was really fun. We had a good time. It's not a true touring experience because we got to go home to our own beds every night, because these locations are only about maybe an hour and a half away from our home base. But we're open for that. We don't have a booking agency right now, so a lot of it's kind of DIY, and we're looking for opportunities where we can. So I mean, I think a lot of the winter times people don't end up touring a whole lot just because of weather, but we're open to getting on the road where it fits our schedules, but we don't have anything at the moment that's been booked.
Sounds good. And how did you come up with the name GraveBound?
That's a really good question. We honestly, we decided, okay, we need something that's simple, that's easy to understand, because you could have this 5-worded name that people are just gonna be like, well, is it this or is it this? And people will always get it wrong. We wanted something that was easy, something that would roll off the tongue. And I got to be honest, we weren't thinking too much about like what actually represents like our brand, because we didn't really have a brand at the moment. We didn't know like what we stood for, or what makes us a band besides our music. But I think it kind of fits eventually into the idea that we have, is that you only have one opportunity on this earth, and you got to make the best of it. And even though we're all destined to pass away, like we got to make the best for our opportunities and go for your dreams, and make the best of that. So that's kind of like in a nutshell what it means to me. But man, I bet you can imagine coming up with a name with 5 people. Well, it was 5 people at the time. It's so difficult to agree on. Everybody's like, nah, like this, like this. 2 people agree, 1 person doesn't. That was a nightmare. That was like 2 weeks of back and forth of just copying, pasting names, and I'm surprised we came up with a name at all, because that was the most difficult process probably that we've had so far.
Interesting. And since you have a cool name like GraveBound, so in the future when you're going to be playing live, so do you guys plan to make some corpse paints over your face and do something different like that?
uh, that's a great question. That because that's part of imagery, right? Um, we haven't done any of that, right? Haven't thought of any ideas of that just yet. We don't want to cross like there's bands that really do it well, and we don't want to accidentally like try it and not do it right. That's so if we're gonna do it, we got to go all in and do it right. So that's something we got to think about. We haven't. I don't think the guys are on board with any type of imagery like that, or putting like whether like face paint or even like wearing certain things.
Yeah.
Like that's something we haven't really thought about yet. We like to just go. Our main thing for putting on a show and putting on a performance is especially these smaller venues that we play, we bring like our own lighting equipment. So that's one level. And then we also like to just really go nuts and give the crowd our energy and show how excited we are to be here and really just give them something to be excited about. So that would be another layer to add on top of everything. I just don't know if we're all ready to commit to something like that yet.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And would you like to share some of the great moments that you had since the start of the band?
Some of the what?
Great moments that you guys had.
Oh, so we played Blue Ridge Rock Festival this last month, and that was by far one of the best shows that we played. One of the biggest shows we'd played because it was a festival. Just being on stage, it was our second show together with our new lineup, and there was a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety going into something like that. But the release of just playing and everything going well and being on stage together was it was a really great bonding experience. And I feel like that was a great success for us because it was like, wow, we can actually do this. We can, be ready for something like this. We had our banner up there, said GraveBound on it. We had all of our equipment worked right, and we had a good turnout from the fans. They enjoyed the set. We made new friends. It was a great experience. Other than that, I'd say it's usually, I'd say our success moments are right now probably around our fans and like our shows. This last weekend run was a perfect example of like, okay, we can play 3 shows back to back and not have any issues. Our vocalist has the stamina. We can make sure to, be punctual and actually make it to each venue and have a good turnout and have a good time 3 days in a row. So that shows us like, okay, maybe we are ready to take the step and do a bigger tour. So that was a good success moment for us. We do singles, so we're not as much as we're not going to probably Billboard chart as much as we would with maybe an EP or an album. So we haven't had any, streaming success like that recently. I would say one moment we had another one was that we signed to it's not a label, but Blood Blast Distribution. So they're really critical in helping us with getting our music out there to all the streaming platforms. That was a really big moment for us as well because they're associated with Nuclear Blast and Believe. And it's just, great to be working with them.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And what would be the dream for you guys?
The dream. Well, I would say, I can't speak for everybody because I know everybody has a different flavor of what the dream is. And this is probably the general topic of what it means to make it, right?
Yeah.
I guess for me, I would like to have the band sustain itself because obviously, as you can imagine, there's a lot of finances that go into supporting music videos and merch. And I would love for the band to be able to fund itself. That would be the dream for me. And honestly, being at a point where I could successfully leave my position at my other career and do music full time, that would be amazing. That would be the dream where I'm just constantly creating music and playing shows and just being in that atmosphere. Right now I'm stuck between 2 worlds, and I'd like to be just all in that one world. That would be the dream for me.
Awesome. And talking about your songwriting, do you restrict yourself into a particular topics, or you will explore wherever you want to?
Right now, I would say we definitely kind of go wherever we want. So I'm not the vocalist, though. I'm the guitarist. I am the primary songwriter when it comes to instrumentals, but our vocalist ends up writing kind of a mix of things. It's usually, I would say, aggressive or angry, or there's no soft lyrics, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's usually more, like I said, on the darker side of things. But what the content of that, it kind of ranges. Our Phobia EP was more focused on mental health, and that was with our old vocalist. And that's still something, of course, that we hold to heart. So we'll probably end up with some songs like that down the line as well. But yeah, generally dark topics is where we tend to write our music, or at least the lyrics of the music.
Sounds great. Sounds great. And do you have a dream arena where you want to go and perform in front of your fans?
I actually haven't thought about that one. That's a great question. I unfortunately don't know. If I'm in any arena playing in front of fans, I mean, taking that as like an actual arena, like that would be amazing anywhere we are, if that's something that's even possible for us.
Sounds good. And how is the support from your home state so far?
We have a lot of great fans. Obviously, we're still somewhat of a local band, and we haven't branched out too much outside of the immediate Virginia area. But yeah, we have a really good fan base here. I think our first show back from COVID, we sold out the venue. So we really can't thank our fans enough for supporting us.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And James, finally, what would be the message for the fans around the world?
What would be the message? Well, this is my time to shine. I would say that GraveBound is one, of course, metalcore music, but we're looking to be that moment where you kind of step away from reality, be that opiate to kind of have you just enjoy and just forget about issues and things that you're dealing with. And we also have a online presence and an online community where we're really responsive to everybody. And if you want to talk to us or hang out with us, we do go live on several occasions, but we just want to be welcoming and open to anybody that wants to come out and hang out with us, whether it's at a show, whether it's out on a Instagram or Facebook Live or whatever it is. We just want to be a family with all of our friends and family and our fans, and put out good music that you guys like to listen to. So that's what we want to see. And if we can get somewhere with it and spread it to as many people that can hear it, that would be great.
Awesome, awesome. And James, thank you so much for putting up an amazing song by end of this week, Casualty. I believe a lot of fans will start loving it, and more fans will come into the band and listen to you guys. And looking forward for more music from you guys. And I wish you and all the band all the success in your life. And thanks so much for the time you have given me today. It's a pleasure talking to you.
No, absolutely. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, James. You have a good day ahead. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.